Welcome back to another episode. My name is Sandy and I am a realtor in Nanaimo, and I like to flip houses on the side. So in this episode, I would like to talk about budget. It's a topic that's going to make or break your flip, and I like to use a system that I called Inside Out, and I'll go and discuss that further with you. So stay tuned. So now that I found my perfect house, and before I put in an offer, it's time to do a second walkthrough. And during this walkthrough, I want to bring my general contractor that I'll be using for the flip. And I like to use a system called Inside Out, where we would look at the areas by priority, and that's kitchen, bathrooms, flooring, and curb appeal. So why do I do a budget before submitting an offer? Because I want to know how much to put the offer in for. So the budget that the general contractor sets for me gives me an idea of how much I'm going to be spending, looking at what's currently on the market, what's currently selling. Then I have a very clear picture, taking in my profit margin, how much to put the offer in for. So the budget portion, the second viewing, is very important for that reason. And I can also get a very clear idea of the priority of where the budget is going to be spent. So during our walkthrough, I spend most of my time talking to my general contractor about the kitchen, because the kitchen is most likely going to be the most expensive part of the entire reno. And we discuss things like what style of the cabinets are going to be like, what kind of appliances are going to be installed. And we also discuss things like, should we add an island, move the island, create more space, and things like that, which is going to affect the plumbing and electrical. So most of the money spent is going to be in the kitchen, figuring out the design aesthetics of it. So next we have bathrooms, and there are 2 bathrooms here at this house I'm flipping. And as we go through, my general contractor noticed that there are some things that we can keep and reuse, and the good news is that a lot of the vanity and tub are standard size, so we can actually purchase those from a big box stores to save some money and cost. So now we have flooring. Now that we know what the look of the kitchen and major parts of the house are going to be, we select the flooring. When I go shop for flooring, I pick out certain samples that I think would work with the design, but usually the salesperson will tell me if they have it in stock, what's on sale, what other options there are. And for this flip, we opted to go with vinyl, which is very durable, aesthetically it looks great, and it's easy to install, and we got a great deal locally. So a Sandy tip that I want to give you guys is, even though we want to have a unified look throughout when it comes to flooring, but an area that you can save some money is to put and install carpet in the bedrooms. People tend to lay down a rug anyways in those areas, and so if you are in a pinch and you need to free up some budget, those are a good area to consider. So this brings us to the curb appeal portion of the budget. As we were going through the second showing, my general contractor pointed out that the vinyl actually was in good shape, but I thought the color really dated the property, so we opted to set aside some budget to repaint the outside. And we always want to set aside a small budget for landscaping, just to clean up, prune back, trim back some of the overgrowth before we put it on the market. So we've covered all the major areas of this renovation, and my general contractor often will tell me how much contingency to set, but I've done it enough to know this is not a very big flip, So 10% is a pretty safe bet for this flip. And it depends on how much work needs to go into a flip. Sometimes that contingency can rise up to 20%. So that should all be accounted for in your budget. And so this brings us to the end of the video. But before we go, I want to discuss one more cost, and that is carrying cost. So with every flip, I have to figure out a timeline, because as soon as I take possession of the house, things like insurance, property tax, if I have a mortgage, all of those costs will accumulate very, very quickly. And I want to minimize as much carrying cost as possible because it gives me absolutely no return. And so this will lead us to the next video where we talk about due diligence, planning, because that's where you're going to save the most amount of money. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to make lots more. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section. Please subscribe. And if you're in Nanaimo and you want to buy and sell, contact me. Thank you so much. See you guys next time.